Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the biggest keys that I learned when dealing with social anxiety. I know there are so many of you who watch my channel who deal with this and struggle with this, and I've gotten so many messages about when I posted my story dealing with selective mutism, and I'm going to link that up here if you guys want to check that out. I also have a couple of other videos about social anxiety and how to cope with social anxiety, but in today's video, like I mentioned, I want to talk about the lessons that I learned from going through social anxiety and some tips for those of you who are still struggling with social anxiety. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to welcome those of you who are new here. Welcome to our family and welcome to our community. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Bridget and I'm a parent and mindset coach. I also have a free Facebook group for parents called Raising Me While Raising You. And it's an awesome community filled with amazing parents who are on the same journey as you are if you've clicked on this video. We talk about all things personal development, we talk about mindset, we talk about stress, anxiety, and so much more. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to leave the link in the description below and I hope you can join us. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every single Friday. That being said, let's get into the video. So I'm just going to give a brief background just because I think it's helpful in what I'm about to go through. When I was younger, I was diagnosed with selective mutism, which is a childhood anxiety disorder in which you have a phobia to speak. So when I was younger, I was in a lot of therapy. It was helpful at the time, of course, and I was able to, get to a point where I could talk to strangers, I could communicate in a classroom setting, I could do all the things that would consider me normal, right? But after some time, my parents thought, we don't need to be doing more and more therapy. And as I got older, I still found myself struggling with the same things. It wasn't necessarily about just communicating to people because I could do it. I was just very awkward. And it was hard for me to make friends. It was hard during my childhood, but even into my early adulthood. In college, I didn't have that many friends. And I developed a strategy, which I will get into later, but I developed a strategy in which the way I would make friends is I would meet one super outgoing person. And that was a way for me to talk to strangers because that person would be so outgoing. So I would make friends because of this person. And I still do it today. Just because I still struggle. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely struggle in social settings. It's really hard for me to assimilate and get comfortable in a setting, and so sometimes I'm thrown off. But I'll be able to communicate. I won't be too awkward, at least I don't think. But I still struggle, right? So that was one of the strategies that I was able to develop. And there are a lot of other strategies that I'm gonna go through, but I think the majority of the work came through more so self-help strategies, self-improvement, self-reflection, mindfulness, and working on my confidence. That was the biggest game changer for me in order to push myself and motivate myself and get outside my comfort zone. Those were some of the big things that really helped me. This more like the self-reflection, self-improvement. That's where I got my biggest jump. Therapy is great and I highly recommend therapy. I don't think I would have gotten to this point if I didn't have therapy, but I think it only works up to a certain extent because that therapist or that psychologist will only push you to a certain degree. After that, it's completely up to you to take action, to make decisions, to get uncomfortable. So like I was saying before, one of those strategies was befriending people and surrounding yourself with the right people. The people who were going to push you, who were going to motivate you, who were going to urge you to get uncomfortable as often as possible. But not to the point where that person is toxic and they're always, talking about how you're so awkward or how it's so hard for you to come out or it's so hard for you to make friends. Not that kind of person. The kind of person who accepts you but also pushes you to grow, right? And I think it's also important, considering the fact of surrounding yourself with the right people, we also have to surround ourselves with are similar archetypes, right? It was important for me to also befriend others who were struggling, others who had social phobia and social anxiety. That was important for me because it helped me realize, okay, like I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy, right? There are so many other people who struggle with this. And it's helpful to motivate each other, talk about what they're struggling with and talk about what you're struggling with, bounce ideas off of each other. Hey, like this is what I've been doing. This has been really helpful for me. You know, and they can come back to you saying, you know what, I tried that didn't work for me, but here's something else you could try. And it's a great way to recognize that perspective while also still pushing yourself and finding other people who are much different from you, right? That's how we grow. Another great tip, which I wish I knew a long time ago, especially when I was younger and I was dealing with it in my teens, it was really easy for me to compare my social situation to other people's, especially other girls around my age. I would always wish that I could be as confident, as outgoing, as, you know, easily to make friends. And I wasn't. But I always wished that I could be that girl, and I wasn't. And at that point, I wasn't able to recognize the strengths that this social phobia, social anxiety had given me. Because I was shy, because I was timid and laid back, I became a great listener, and I became super empathetic and considerate and kind and intuitive. I became the observer, and all of those things allowed me to harness it into my skills and my passions, right? So the work that I do now when I coach and I work with other moms and women out there, I'm a great listener and I'm a great observer. Like I'm able to bring a different perspective. Even in my passion, my hobbies, I love art and I'm a super creative person, super intuitive person. I love realism. I like to draw, I like to paint, and I like to harness those skills that I have gotten from this into other areas. And being able to recognize that, to appreciate and be grateful of the things that it has given me has made me think about it in a different way. It's not a weakness. To me, I consider it a strength now because it has given me so much other opportunities. But I also recognize that every day is a struggle, every day is a challenge. And that brings me to my next point. Never stop learning, never stop trying to grow, or never stop that self-reflection, right? Every day I make a commitment to push myself a little bit more than the day before. Every day I say yes to an invite that I really don't want to go to. I say yes because at the end of the day, it's bringing me a new opportunity to get outside my comfort zone, to talk to a new person, to talk to that person again. Even though I maybe have had a really awkward conversation with them in the past, it's a chance for me to make up for it, for me to be better than I was last time. Right? So get out there, accept those invites, get uncomfortable. I've talked about this in a previous video, but I think it's such a good way to try to push yourself when you're at an appointment or you're in the grocery store or you're doing anything where you might be surrounded by strangers. This is a great opportunity because this person doesn't know you and because you might never see them again. It's a great opportunity to just try something new. Say something, speak up, start a conversation. It doesn't matter what it's about. It can be about anything. You can pretend to be whoever you want to be. And then you don't have to feel so bad about it because you might not ever see this person again. Or you might, and it could be awkward. But it doesn't matter because you pushed yourself. You put in the effort. Another helpful thing is being able to track yourself. So I have in the past was working on a journal. So every day I would write down something that I pushed myself to do, or I talked about how I was feeling, what my thoughts around social interactions were. I just wanted to keep everything all in one place. I wanted to reflect on the negative thoughts I was having about myself or about my interactions. And I wanted to each day, each week, each month, whatever the case was, be able to look back and see how far I had grown. Because at the end of the day, after every conversation I have with somebody, I think, wow, like look how far I have come. Even starting my YouTube channel, that was a huge step for me. And if you take a look back at my first video, I still cringe watching it. It's such an awful video. I don't like the way I talk. I say a lot of ums and likes and this, that, and the other, but I felt so good after doing it. And it's so crazy to look back even at videos from a couple months ago just to see how far I've changed. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of how much I pushed myself. Another crazy thing I did a couple weeks ago was that I was invited to a virtual retreat. And I applied. I didn't think I would go through because there was like 250 applicants, and I got selected. Out of that 250, there was 25 speakers at the event. I gave a 45-minute presentation. I was sweating. I was so nervous. I worked so hard to try to make this perfect speech. And even at some points I was like, okay, where am I going with this? Do I sound like an idiot? Should I look at the camera? Should I look at my notes? And it was just so many emotions flooding that I kind of just let myself go. I went on autopilot, and I think I did a pretty good job with that speech. And it was just such an awesome opportunity. And at the end of the day, like I said, at some point it doesn't really matter, especially when you're a person struggling with social anxiety. It doesn't even matter how well you performed. What matters is that you did it. You gave it your best shot. And that's what I was grateful for. The fact that I was able to do it, that I showed up, and I was uncomfortable. But I felt so good after. So the last thing I kind of want to leave you guys with is about setting goals. I think that was something I definitely lacked, and it's something that I've been working on in the past couple of months, being more mindful about the goals I set for myself and making myself accountable for achieving those goals, right? Because goal setting only works up to a certain point, right? You have to, at some point, be achieving these goals in order to set new goals, because that's how we improve. That's how we get better at these things. So setting goals, holding yourself accountable to that improvement, working on that self-reflection, those are all the things and the keys that are going to get you moving forward, and a lot faster than I did, because I've struggled with it my entire life. So if I could help you guys achieve results like that faster, these would be the tips to look out for, because these were some of the biggest things that have helped me and pushed me to the point where I am today. Before I end today's video, I just wanted to let you guys know that spots for my free consult are open. So if you'd like to schedule a consult, if you're a parent working on your personal development journey, if you want to be more confident, if you want to have healthy relationships with your family, if you're trying something new and you're just trying to figure things out, I really urge you to sign up for the consult. Let's work through it together. Let's see how I can help. And I'm going to leave that in the link below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.